the dream of every golf architect is to work on the Scottish links. I mean, that's something that I haven't had the opportunity to do yet. So just to have that presented and the ability to, be involved with something like that and something as historic and old as this, that's a phenomenal opportunity.
2 years ago, what started as a crazy experiment on the internet turned into the ownership of a real golf course, Spey Bay in Scotland.
We were the winning bid at Spey Bay. We're in an exclusive period, and we are anticipating that we will be closing on this property and the owners of Spey Bay within the next 3 weeks to a month. So this project started as we are going to buy a golf course. At this moment in time, it's exactly what we are doing. We are buying a golf course.
All of a sudden, we were stewards of a course first played in 1907. The property, once owned by British royalty, and the club championship trophy itself was gifted by a former prime minister. Inheriting that kind of history was cool, but also daunting. The past was clear, the future was still taking shape. But one thing was certain, the land was special. The course sits on a stretch of rugged coastline along the Moray Firth, shaped by wind, weather, and time.
It is a bit understated, so it's not like Ballybunion with mega high dunes, but it's closer to the old course, which doesn't have mega high dunes, but is in many people's opinion the best golf course in the world. And well, we don't think there's a lot of reason why we can't create something that would be as exciting.
Spey Bay wasn't on any top 100 lists. It wasn't on many itineraries, and most Scottish golfers had heard the name but hadn't thought about it in years. Still, the people here saw the potential of what it could be if the right hands looked after it. From the start, the goal wasn't just to protect what was here. It was to bring the land alive. We wanted to honor the land by doing something more creative with it, to give golfers more ways to engage and more reasons to come back, not by changing its character, but by drawing more out of it. To move forward, we needed a clear point of view and great partners who understood what the land could handle.
Then getting here and seeing the property and not really knowing anything, because I'd never been to Spey Bay before. So, just to see that, the first fairway and the undulation and how everything's just heaving and flowing up and down and the humps and hollows, and it's true old school links Scottish golf. And so that's super, super fun to do and to be involved with something like that, and that historic and something that we can be proud of and bring for the next 100 years.
That vision came from Clayton, DeVries Pont. In May 2023, they walked the site and returned with a routing that felt both simple and surprising.
We're looking at implementing a reversible golf course. So what that means is that there's a regular routing. Think of today's routing where the holes go. And then how can we turn that around and play in a different direction? So the old course at St. Andrews was always set up a long time ago as a reversible routing. And they played the routing that you think of as the old course today, they played it in a different direction. So there's a counterclockwise and a clockwise routing out and back. That was a thing that they did because there were divots that collected from balls settling in the same position. And so they wanted to sort of include the opportunity for turf to heal and for hazards that you ran into to not be significant in another direction, but another hazard might be significant. And so the opportunity that we're looking at here is to take the routing that we have here, and this is regular flat ground, but there's humps and hollows and bumps and things like that. And so that if you hit into like a slight upslope in one direction, but it's a slight downslope in another direction, that can do different things to the ball. It'll change the angles, it'll change the holes. Essentially, what you have two golf courses within one golf course. That helps you to provide diversity. And so what that does is it incorporates more play, more opportunity for players to stay in the same place, play a different golf course from day to day.
To execute it, we needed the right people on the ground. That started with Bert McKay, our general manager, and continued with the team he built, led by David, our head greenskeeper.
We both started end of August, beginning of October, and then we hit the ground running. At that point there, we needed to find sand because ultimately you can't build what we're trying to build without sand. We need to sand cap everything above all the shale. We managed to find sand in certain pockets, And what was the driving range? We started harvesting pretty hard there. We needed around 10,000 tonne of sand to sand cap all of the areas to hydroseed them. Ultimately, that process was then running pretty quickly, and then it was a matter of let's get the gorse out. So we identified 7 key areas on the golf course where we were going to take out gorse, and strategically placing them that would then unlock 7 holes reversible as well, because ultimately that's the aim, to get 18.
In June of that year, we became the first to try it. We mapped out a short loop using shared greens and makeshift tee boxes, just to get a feel for how the land responded in both directions. It was rough, it was improvised, but it was exactly what we needed, and it confirmed what we'd hoped all along. The land could carry it.
So that winter work started taking off. We initially started taking out at the back of 17, was the first area that came out, and then we moved to the far end of the golf course. We then went down the left-hand side, took out all of the stuff to the left of 16 as you're going down the golf course, which unlocked the new 17th tee and the reversible back to 15 green. We then moved over to the back of the first, or the second, and then the back of the third, which unlocked both the new middle tee playing area and the reverse play-in. The biggest area that we did unlock, and part of that was really because the fifth and sixth hole are not quite finished yet. So the fifth hole, we've took out a clump of trees at the back of the green. We've taken out about 2.5 acres of gorse from that, unlocking that lovely complex of the new fourth and the fifth tee. And then we took out another 1.5 acres down at 6. And the reason being is when you play 5, you're going to be playing to the old 5 green, but obviously that green needs to be pushed another 100 yards down. So the fact that we took that gorse out was really to create a fairway. So then it means that further down the line, we can ultimately put a green in and keep playing to that throughout the season, which again is important. We have identified another few areas that we're working on just now. We have joined up what was the 7th and 10th green. You'll see that the short grass has gone in there. And then it's a plan of taking out bunkers. So we've taken out already 5 bunkers. Plan is to still take out a few more. I mean, we have been hindered just now with what has been the driest start to any season in golf in Scotland. So the priority is keeping the greens and tees alive. But ultimately, pot bunkers and the nature of them, they only work in forward routing. Reverse routing, you don't see these bunkers. So it's key for us to take them out and strategically taking a few out here and there.
Each of these steps was part of a larger idea, not to force something new onto the land, but to uncover something that might have been there all along. A reversible course that feels surprising, but inevitable. And in May of 2025, members from around the world came to see that progress for themselves. They played new tee boxes, walked the edges of new fairways, and saw the shape of something coming to life. We bought Spey Bay in 2023 with the simple idea that there was more possible here. Since then, we've worked alongside architects, greenskeepers, and members to shape a course that honors the land and offers something new. There's still work ahead, more holes to shape, more details to get right, but the foundation is here. The vision is in motion, and step by step, we're getting closer to what we imagined at the start. A course that looks ahead and rewards those who return. Follow along on the journey, and if you're ever in Scotland, come see it for yourself.